I've mixed up some 2-part epoxy glue, which is a 5-minute cure, and I figured I'd stand there for 5 minutes holding it. But after about a minute, I realised, no, this isn't going to work. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Now, I do love a splash of colour everywhere. Just here, there, everywhere. I do love colour. I think it brightens people's mood. I think it warms the heart. And one thing I really love is warmth. And I think colour adds warmth. It's my opinion, mind you. You might not agree, but I really do love colour. So I bought this little mould recently. I was going to use it separately in a different product, but I liked it that much. It's very cheap, a little sweet mould, but I liked it that much. I had to make some and add some colour to my room, and I really think these pieces would go really well on outside walls. Now, I know that sounds odd to some people, but I just think it would work. So I hope you enjoy this little video. I hope you get something out of it. And don't forget, your outside walls can be decorated too. So this is the little mould I bought from Amazon here in the UK. It was really reasonable. It came the next day and I just thought it was so sweet. I love the detail on this mould. Now, to start with, I'm going to use a Gecko colour premium marker that is in rose gold. Now, believe it or not, I bought this over 2 years ago when I visited America, and it's still in the packet. I'd never seen this colour marker here in the UK at the time, and I just had to buy one and bring it back with me, and it was a really reasonable cost. So as I was clearing out one of my drawers the other day, I found it and thought, I'm going to have to use this. 2 years later, 2 years down the line, yes, I know it's a bit late, but we've got to try this. And I thought the rose gold actually would go really nice in this mould. So what I thought I'd do was I'd colour in the detail of this mould with the rose gold marker. After priming it and making sure it's running, which it was perfectly fine even 2 years later, I started colouring in the detail. Now, I know with these markers that you can clear up any messes with isopropyl alcohol. I did a test a few years ago on markers, and isopropyl alcohol was the best way to clear up any little overspills or marks. They just come away really easily. So I have cotton buds handy and some isopropyl alcohol that I've just sprayed on the mat, so I can use and dip in with a cotton bud anytime I want. Now, I have done this method before several times, and these premium Gecko colours do have rather a large nib, which means it's quite difficult to get into smaller areas. But even though this mould has quite a lot of detail, the area inside the mould is quite thick and dense. And if you pull it apart with your other hand, you can get the marker in there quite easily. So I'm going to go in and decorate all of the indented areas on this mould that will be raised when the final piece is demoulded. I'm taking the colour up round the outside edges of these indentations, filling in those areas fully so that I know when the piece comes out, it should be coloured right the way round the raised areas. Now, I must say, because this pen had not been used before, I don't know if you want to call it a pen or a marker, but I think marker probably works better. The nib was nice and flat and new and precise. If you're using an older nib, it may not be as precise as a new one. So I feel that this would be a lot harder with a more worn marker. I'm not going to make you watch the whole lot, so let's fast forward to when it's done. It takes me a little time and I do have a little bit of clear up to do here and there. And when you turn it over, I can see that I've missed one of the eyes. Now, because that was going up the side of the mould, I didn't think I'd colour it in, but realising when I turn it over, which is always a good idea, I'd missed colouring in one of the eyes. I also go back in and colour in a few bits that I think really just needed that extra bit of colour. And yes, I dropped the lid, which is quite a common occurrence for me. Dropping things is just a way of life. When I'm done, I check it again to make sure I haven't missed anything, and I do like this colour. Now I could at this point just pour in a coloured resin, but I do like the appearance of chameleon mica powders. You know that I use them a lot. So this is Ether from the Tiny Turner, and I do sell these on Toonpish.com. Now you know that I don't like green. This does have a blue twist to it, however, and that is less unappealing. And most lizards are green or brown, and I figured that this would go really well with this little gecko mould. Now I'm calling it a gecko. I don't know if it is a gecko. It could be some other form of lizard, but gecko works. And when I've searched gecko, it comes up with little creatures that are this kind of shape. So yes, I'm calling it a gecko. By the way, I just want to say thank you to all those who regularly watch my channel and are aware that I couldn't put a video up last week because the heat in the UK was extreme. Facing editing in a room with two very warm computers and no air conditioning in 35 degrees was not something I wanted to face. On top of that, I was a bit poorly as well, so I really did not have the energy to do that kind of thing. But I'm all better now. It was just a bug. So I'm sorry that last week it didn't happen, and I want to say thank you to everybody who gave me good wishes on the post that I put up. If you haven't subscribed and you're new to this channel, perhaps you would consider doing so. It doesn't cost anything. It will definitely help my channel out, and I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. After a while, I've completely covered the majority of the body, and I have left some little places on the paws and the head where I'm going to change the colour slightly to Nature, which is a lighter colour green. Now this is a green gold tint, and I think it would go really nice in the little toes and fingers, paws and claws, or whatever you want to call them, the feet of this little gecko, and a little bit on the top of his head just to give him a twist. So it's not all one uniform colour, but it's still in the same family. I then go on to clean the mould so it looks aesthetically pleasing, and you can see the beautiful blue twist and green gold of these greens in there. Now it's time to mix up some resin, and I'm going to use Let's Resin epoxy resin for this. It's my go-to resin. It's the one I use 95% of the time. And there is a 10% discount code for Canada, US and the UK in the description box below the video. I don't have a lot of resin in these bottles, but I only need a small amount of resin, and I do end up mixing up too much, so that goes in another project. I think I mixed up 80 ml, but I could have done with 50 to be honest. Now here's the twist. I'm not going to put straight black on the back of these chameleon powders. Black does push the colour out significantly better. I figured today I would do a dark green. So I'm using the green pigment from Let's Resin's pigment pack. And I'm also adding in some black as well. You can mix these colours together to get a different shade of colour. A little bit of black in with the green is going to give me a rich dark green. Now I do put quite a bit of black in there and the green kind of disappears. So I add a bit more green to it. And as long as I don't add more than 10% colour, then I should be fine and this resin will cure up nicely. So I think this dark green will work beautifully to fill up this gecko mould. I think it will push the colours out significantly. Now there are a lot of places in this mould with tiny little areas. So I'm spraying all those little areas with isopropyl alcohol before I pour the resin. That will help the resin to flow into those areas and reduce bubbles quite significantly. I'm using a silicone tool just to get rid of any overspill. That's not because the mould is filled up too much, it's because of my sloppy pouring. And I'm topping up the mould because I really want this gecko to be quite full. Parts of this gecko mould are really quite thin. The toes, the paws, the end of the tail, and I don't want them to be really shallow. I need them to be as full as possible. I have got this mould on a levelling table so I know that it's flat, and I am going in with a micro brush that I've removed the brush from, which means it's a little plastic stick just in case there's any stuck air right in those tiny points. And then I leave this little fellow to cure overnight. So the following day I can demold. Now this is in the morning and I only poured it the afternoon in the previous days. So it's only been about 18 hours. I am aware that this resin isn't completely cured, but I want to have a look to see what we've got. I've left the sounds in for this one, although there wasn't many to be fair. And after a little persuasion, it comes out of the mould and there is no colour left in that mould at all. And I love it. I love the way these pens work. The resin picks up the colour really, really well. And it's a different way to use them. Now, there are spots that I think could have done with a little bit more colour. So I do go over a few areas with the pen on the outside just to fill in a couple of little places where it was a little bit rough looking. But that's perfect. It's the same colour, the same pen. And I'm happy with that. So this time I'm going to use an older pen which I've used several times, and this is the Gecko Colour Premium Gold. I have used this on several occasions and it is a little worn, but they do last quite a long time. Now I quite often decant some of these colours and use a paintbrush. They do dry really quickly, but sometimes if you're priming the nib, you can accidentally release too much. And I did on that occasion. So as I don't want to waste it, I've used a paintbrush just to go over some areas that is probably easier with a paintbrush anyway, to be honest. The little details in the tail definitely warrants using a paintbrush if you can decant a colour. But as I said, it dries really quickly, so you don't have much time to use it. Once I'd used that accidental spill, then I carried on and did the entire mould again. And the gold is beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful gold colour. Now, I know geckos are not usually purple, but you know what? I fancied it. This is Alexa from the Tiny Turner, again available on Toonpish.com. By the way, I'll just let you know that on the website now on Toonpish.com, you can now buy any 6 individual colours for £32.50. The discount is applied in the basket and you can do it across the flakes and the powders. You can mix and match any 6 individual pots for £32.50. That is available right now as of May 2026 and until further notice. I just thought I'd let you know that. So I really do love purple and I'm really looking forward to making this one. And for the back colour with this one, I'm going to use Let's Resin's Magenta. Now this is from a multi-pack that lets resin do of colours, and there are, I think, 48 colours in the pack. It's huge. Loads of different colour markers. And even though I haven't used this dark magenta, look at that colour, isn't it gorgeous? However, I am going to add a little black pigment into it to give it a darker colour. And I am loving this darker colour. And I think that will work absolutely beautifully with this little gecko. You're not going to see that, it's going to be on the back, but it will take the purple to a different level. Now I did start to pour the resin here and I realised I hadn't actually squirted the mould with isopropyl alcohol, so I stopped what I was doing and sprayed this mould all over. And you can see how quickly that poured resin then spread out, and that's what isopropyl alcohol does. It breaks the surface tension and lets it move more freely. I'm not going to just leave it there. I do use a micro brush in all the little toes and the end of the tail just to be sure. But honestly, using isopropyl alcohol in there saves a lot of hassle, and it doesn't affect the mica or the pen either. Again, I'm going to make sure that this mould is topped up fully to the top. I've got it on the levelling table. I'm happy that it's level. I want this mould as full as possible because of the toes and the tail. I'm using a silicone tool to get rid of the overspill because that saves a lot of cleaning up at the end as well. I put it to bed. I let it cure for 24 hours or thereabouts. So the following day, again, this is early in the morning and it is a little soft still, but I'm still excited to see the colour of this little gecko. Now heads up, I did actually make one that was red. I used the pen and I poured red, just red resin, very nicely pigmented red, but it was a flat colour and it just didn't do it for me. Although it was bright and striking, I do prefer chameleon colours. I like the twist, but I absolutely love how these come out. Using the pen to colour the mould is just easy and gives such beautiful effects. Now what am I going to do with them? I'm going to put them on the wall in my room. Now, I was actually going to put them outside on a wooden post outside the house. And I actually might still do that with the red one. But I really wanted them in my room. I want to see them every time I go in there. I might make some more actually and put them outside. That was the original plan. For now, they're going in my room. I've mixed up some 2-part epoxy glue, which is a 5-minute cure. And I figured I'd stand there for 5 minutes holding it. But after about a minute, I realised, no, this isn't going to work. Although it's a 5-minute epoxy glue, it still takes a good few hours to actually completely go off and to keep those little critters on the foam tiles that are on my wall. By the way, these foam tiles are for sound. When I'm recording in this room, I need it to not echo. So the foam tiles stops that or helps to prevent that. I love these little critters. They have stayed on those foam tiles. The 2-part epoxy glue works a treat with resin and stuck really well to the foam tiles. And I really like how they look on the wall. From now on, you'll be seeing these probably in the intro because that's where I film the intro. And I just think they add a little colour and a little interest to these rather dull looking grey tiles. And I just love them, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been quite a simple one, but I really love how these 2 pieces come out, and I probably will be making more to put them outside on the wooden post. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Happy crafting, and bye for now.